What's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be doing the tutorial of Gigantic. It's going to be a little bit of a walkthrough. I'm going to give you my colorful commentary as well to fill in some of the gaps, but for the most part, I think the tutorial is going to be self-explanatory, and I'm sure you're going to play it yourself whenever you finally jump into the game of Gigantic. But let's go through it right now so you guys, can be caught up to speed if you guys haven't been playing, but it is open beta. You can check it out right now. They just had a new update. Anyway, so here we go. Right now, basically, I just want to say, it's Gigantic, okay? So the main goal is to kill the enemy team's, giant, or their guardian, okay? But the first thing that we got to do as we spawn on our little airship platform is level up an ability. So we can actually choose individual abilities, and whenever you click on one of these abilities, let's say the machine pistols, every single time you're gonna get two choices, and you can only choose one of those two, and it's gonna be locked in like that for the rest of the game. Now, whenever you do pick one, you can see it creates a tree, and then you can choose, once again, one from two. So anyways, machine pistols are now burst fire, so we could do that, but they build crit faster, and there's no spread or recoil, so I guess they're better for longer range. Let's go clickety-clack that. All right, let's do it. WASD to move, of course, space to jump, but that does drain stamina. So yes, this game is gonna have verticality and is a very fast game, but you always gotta remember to manage that stamina. It's super important. Attacks use it, jumping, dodging, pretty much everything utilizes that. So yeah, if you think you might need to run away, then maybe stop attacking, save it up, and then charge. Also, it's gonna recharge much faster outside of combat. All right, so let's go follow Imani. Rear. And latch on. There we go. Now, we don't take any fall damage for that initial jump, but there is fall damage in the game, by the way. All right, so the first thing you're going to do as soon as the match starts is going to rush to summon some creatures. These are kind of like the towers in this MOBA, okay? And yeah, they do have their own attacks. All right, summoning alone does take some time, and you have to stand near it. Group up to summon faster, and then creatures defend the power circles. And see, one good reason why... Okay, actually, I'll probably explain.
Power circles to secure them. Keep in mind, it's best to stay close while the summon is in progress.
Woo.
The more heroes nearby, the faster it completes.
Exactly. Now, circles or orbs of power will spawn here intermittently.
Thanks.
Having your creature on it will collect the power.
Controlling the battlefield helps Leyren gain power, but we shouldn't try to hold the whole map. We should summon creatures on our power circles to secure them.
There we go. Yes, summoning creatures at power circles. So here are the power circles. You want to capture them because if you look at the top left, there's sort of this this bar. Okay, so this bar, kind of by your Leyron and also the enemies, it'll fill up with yellow. That's from killing enemy creatures, but it also fills from collecting power. So over time, power builds at these circles, and you can actually collect them if there's no creature manually, but if you have a creature, it's just going to do it automatically. So you summon creatures at power circles. Creatures provide tactical benefits. Each one's different. So you have healing ones. You've got one that, it says right there, enemy radar, and then one burns enemies. So one is just like a stronger. If you can, oh my god, dude, the dragon is pretty intense if you can summon him. Oh yeah, those creatures actually level up. So let's get into that. All right, so we're gonna level up. I like the number 2. So we're gonna go with that guy. We just hold it down, and there we go. Now it's gonna start the summon. We're gonna sit next to it.
If the creature dies, that's a kill for the enemy, which gives them power.
That's true.
Summon a creature you can't defend.
So as you can see, it's shaded right there. It can't defend itself there, but it can die there.
When and where we can channel power to her.
And there's the energy I was talking about, guys. So here's the power orbs. Yep, power orbs appear at the circles. Fully formed power orbs can be collected, and you collect the orb manually if you want to. So let's go ahead and go do that at C. The tutorial is a lot better. I like it.
Spread out.
Oh, there's some enemies. Sven and Tito, it looks like. All right, so the combat here is pretty basic stuff now, guys. It's gonna control like any third-person shooter on PC that you've ever played, kind of, sort of, not really. There's not that many, that's basically what I'm saying. All right, so yeah, it's definitely gonna feel like a true shooter, guys, okay? I know it's kind of a MOBA, but really, it's really more of like a hero shooter. It's very precise combat, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, so now, you're gonna be using, your kind of MOBA abilities if you played Smite, kind of like that. You got Q and E, right click, left click, all that good stuff. Shift, you can also dodge. You can't dodge forward though. So as you can see, you can shift A, S, D, but you cannot dodge forward. Please keep that in mind. All right, so let's go up here and let's do the do, man. There we go, build up that crit, throw a little grenade, throw a little kaboom. Oh yeah, and then we can level up. So, what you see to the left here is going to be suggested leveling. This is just suggested. It's not necessary at all. It's not your only options. So don't think it's like Heroes of the Storm where it's your only options. It's not true.
Creatures to gather power for us.
Yeah, so we could do that, but we're just going to collect the orb, I think. Does it want us to collect the orb or just summon? Either way, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Summon
all right.
here.
let's summon the Cyclops, man. Cyclops is pretty cool. The Cyclops can choke out points. So right here, there's like he can create a wall in between that, so it's harder for them to get through. Yeah, okay, so let's level up here. We can just level up number 1, or you can press Control and then individually select. So let's level up our right click here. Yeah, oh yeah, and now you can actually upgrade creatures. So this is pretty cool. So you have the kind of baby creatures, but then you can actually spend your focus, which is going to be like sort of your resource, which is down there, your F key. That's your focus, which is used for ultimates. Now, maybe some characters might have more situational ultimates than others, so it could be good for those characters to focus on leveling up creatures. But anybody can do it. Yeah, so adults replace the young creatures. It does take time for them to spawn. We're going to see that here soon. They do cost focus, and they are just overall much, much stronger, okay? And their benefits are much better, too. So, attacks to fill your meter to gain focus. So just by doing damage, you're going to get focus, okay? It does not charge over time, though. You must be doing damage. All right, so you become focused. You also have different levels, as you can see here. You can have 1 level of focus, 2 level of focus, or 3 levels of focus. And there we go. So we have focus, but it wants us to level this up. So some also as you can see, to level this guy up, it's going to take 2 focus. But what you can do is just fully replace the baby. You don't have to have a young bloomer to have the adult bloomer. You know what I'm saying? But it takes 2 focus to level this guy up to that other Cyclops. So we're not going to use him. We're going to do a adult bloomer. And as you can see, it's just going to replace him. So yeah, some do cost more. Now remember, as they're invisible like this, they cannot defend themselves, and they can die pretty easily. So this is, make sure you do this at the right time, guys. You gotta, coordinate with your team and throughout the whole game. That's gonna be important, but yeah, right then, very clutch. There we go, and as you can see, our bar in the top left is moving through. All right, let's defeat some enemies here. Throw some grenades and stuff. Whoa, buddy, you need to calm down, friend. You need to calm down, Margrave. Okay, maybe I shouldn't focus on the Margrave. Let's go ahead and kill this this vote in here. Now we're playing with bots. Bots aren't brilliant, but when you fight with other players, man, it's gonna get real. Now I will say, as you can see, they're not doing much damage. That's gonna be kind of the same case later on too. I promise. Like these monsters, they take a lot to kill. Like they seriously do. All right, Margrave. I don't think that really worked out for you. And again, they were just bots and they're just being silly. It's a tutorial. Oh yeah, when people die, they leave little health orbs, which is pretty good. A little bit of risk reward there if you want to go for that kill to get the orb, or just run away and then heal up. All right, so let's run. You can run with shift. You move a lot faster, and as you can see, our stamina drains slower to outside of combat. So let's go kill an enemy here. It's probably best to kill the player first and stay away from the creatures. Even the healing creature can still do some damage, so you need to look out for that. So let's just kill this dude here real quick. Bots are easy. Tutorial. All right, let's go do this, and then let's go attack this guy. Now, Becca is a character that's really good at doing consistent damage. She's a DPSer. She's like a hunter in Smite. She's like a DPS in Overwatch, maybe. And overall, she or he, I'm assuming genders, is a DPS character, like an ADC, attack damage carry kind of character. All right, and this is going to come into play as well, not just for slaying the creatures, but also the Guardian, the giants. The namesake of the game. So the first 2 100 power attacks. So since we killed that creature, also got some kills ourselves and acquired some power, the orbs, we filled up the meter. And also one thing that maybe they don't say right here, if the enemy team almost has like a full meter, that actually does not carry over into the next round. It's completely deleted and everybody just restarts from a clean slate. So it's super important for the game plays in waves and phases to always fill it up, okay? And if you think that you're not gonna make it, don't waste your time doing certain things like, if you're about to, okay, we have full power and they're about to attack, right? There would be no point in trying to get extra kills right here, unless it's like strategic, like they're in a certain spot. And there's no point in killing an extra creature. Maybe you might get a little slight advantage, but it might be best just to wait just a little bit until you finish the attack. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. All right, so the first team to 100 power attacks. Hero kill is worth 10. Creature kill is worth 20 because that's fucking hard. And the power orbs are also worth 20, so it's the same thing. Attack with your Guardian. Here we go. Let's do it. I'm going to show you what that's like. It's pretty awesome. Damage the enemy Guardian. Wound the enemy Guardian. Okay, so here's the thing. You can damage them, but you need to wound them, okay? And you need to inflict 3 wounds to win. You can see there's 3 healths, but there's a health bar in between each of these hearts, okay? So let's go and do this. And you get this crazy epic thing where they fly around and it's awesome.
Moving into position to strike.
I want to stuff Laren. I'm completely honest about that. I want a stuffed creature of all the creatures and giants in this game.
Expose Gren's life gem and keep him pinned as long as her power holds out.
Yes. Also, she does do attacks as she flies through the map. There we go. Got him pinned, and let's do an attack. Let's go. And then we gotta specifically attack that point right there. I think you do more damage the closer you get. Now you can also use abilities on this thing too. Even your ultimate. So let's use the ultimate here. There we go.
Operation complete.
Now, it's really important, it's extremely important that if you are going to go for the wound, as in break the heart, that you completely break the heart. Like, it's worth even dying for it. Actually, it's pretty good to die during the attack, because then they don't get the yellow bar. They don't get any power from that. But if you die just after the phase, then they do, okay? So if you're gonna go for it, just all in, try to aim for the heart, because otherwise your giant is going to come back for another phase and attack there. So this is the full tutorial, but again, like I assumed, there was going to be some things missing. Also, whenever your giant attacks, it's going to do some default damage. It's going to do a little bit of damage whenever it attacks. So if there's just a sliver of health left for the wound, then the next time that Lairon or whatever attacks, it's just going to one-hit KO. So keep that in mind, guys. All right. So anyways, that's the tutorial. Now, afterwards, like I said, there's going to be some things that have been missing. Hopefully, I filled in the cracks there. But you should go into the arena, practice your abilities. All the different abilities have different interactions. There are different physics interactions in this game as well. That like the way dots work, the way stamina works. You're going to need to get a feel for that. Also, you should go watch some training videos, play Gigantic, and also subscribe to this channel. I'm pretty hyped about Gigantic. I'm going to do more stuff on it, but that's pretty much it. I just finished my requirement for the tutorial because for some reason with the new update I had to, and I thought I'd do a video on it. So yes, Gigantic is a pretty hype game. It's pretty fun. There's lots of new characters. And just to end on this, I want to say that this game is looking pretty good, okay? The tutorial's been updated. There's new creatures. We got obelisks added into the game. And yeah, you're going to need to look at which each of these creatures do. And then also we got new characters, like the new character Paco, which I'm pretty hype about. And just to end, I'll say Summer Bloomer is a healing. You always want one Bloomer on the map fucking somewhere. The Cerberus allows you to see enemies further away. The Mountain Cyclops can like hold off choke points. Could be really good for defense. Fire Drake is like if you get one of these up, high risk, high reward, but they do big damage. They're really hard to kill. And then the obelisks are there to, if you actually take over an enemy or kill an enemy creature, you can place one of your obelisks there on enemy circles, which is pretty nice. So that is one thing that wasn't mentioned. You personally, your team has 3 circles, generally I think on each map, and then the enemy team has 3 circles. So you can't take over an enemy circle unless you put down an ancient obelisk. That is the only creature that can go on their side of the field. I think that pretty much covers the basics. That's the tutorial of Gigantic. I hope you have fun. My name's Skylent, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.